Now, a lot of y'all know I like to tie historic patterns. Maybe dig through some old, obscure book and just find some forgotten fly. But I also like to tie easy patterns that just catch fish. So I know Clyde, you and Dave Hall, y'all are gonna love this one. And I found it in C. Boyd Pfeiffer's Simple Flies, subtitled Flies You Can Tie with 3 Materials or Less. It was in his wet fly chapter, but this thing is as much a nymph as it is a soft hackle. So what I did today, I just pulled out a bunch of my soft hackles and then some of these rolls of colored burlap. Now, if you've never tied with burlap, give it a try. It's a pretty unique material, and you can get a lifetime supply for about 16 bucks. Just search for jute twine. It's pretty much the same thing. So today's pattern, I've got a couple of rows of these in one of my nymph boxes in all kinds of colors, and they've worked for me for panfish and trout. So there's what I'm talking about in the vise, just a no-named, simple soft hackle. Maybe by the time we're done tying this, we'll come up with a name for it. But this one, I don't know, we could call this one a easy cheesy because it is orange, you know, kind of like cheese is. And I'm tying this on a size 12. It's 1 extra long barbless wet fly, nymph hook. And I'm gonna use some black thread. A standard 70 denier, we'll just catch it in, take it halfway back or so. But I wanna catch my body end up front. Just leave your thread, I would say about where we want to start the hackle, so maybe a couple eye lengths back. And that one was orange, but I'm going to do this one in a green. I've got all these colors of burlap. Just a dyed pack of it was really quite cheap. Here's what one strand looks like. I snipped off about 5 inches or so. You can untwist this. We don't really want it full string, so just take one of these strands here. Let's see, I think this one right here is going to work. That's going to give us a lot of fuzz, which is, you know, kind of what I want here. So I'm going to catch it in, go back just a little, right up here. Make sure you leave some room for your hackle in front of this body. So let's go ahead and take this back to where we're going to start wrapping it. And you can treat this pretty much like a thread. You can spin it clockwise and cord it up, or you could spin it counterclockwise and lay it flat. For these nymphs, I kind of want it corded up. And you know, just wrap it up, but every couple wraps you might need to give it another spin to tighten it up. But go ahead and take it up here to your thread. Now a couple, 2 or 3 good tight wraps right here to lock this before you snip it off. You might want to use your old scissors. This stuff is pretty coarse and pretty thick. Either take your old crappy scissors or just, you know, cut it from way up there at the very tip of the scissors. And since we're going with a green theme, I'm going to stick with it. Use this caddis green hen saddle right here. Small little feather like this. Make sure you got some with a lot of webbiness in it. And I'm going to catch it in from the small side. It probably doesn't really matter, but it will make it a little easier to wrap because I can grab the thicker part of the stem with my hackle pliers. So a couple wraps, catching that in. Let's fold this back over on itself. A couple more wraps to just really secure it. And we do have this little tip we want to cut off. And I want to take my spring-loaded hackle pliers here, grab this feather, I don't know, somewhere up here in the thick part of it. And I'm probably going to get 3 or 4 wraps maybe. I want a pretty big, thick-looking hackle up here. Okay, I think that's 3, and that's going to be plenty. Now I'm going to lick my fingers, pull all this back, build a little head here. All right, let's whip finish it, and then I know right now there's not going to be any cleanup needed for this little ugly. Hey, maybe that's a good name for it, the little ugly. This could be a little ugly in caddis green. Now, put some head cement on it if you want. You know what? I might, if I'm going to make this one a thumbnail, I haven't decided yet, but honestly, these things in my box, there's no head cement on it. I might do 2-3 turn whip finishes and just call it done. But that's it. A little simple caddis green, maybe a caddis green little ugly. How about that? So I appreciate you watching, everybody. Y'all take care, and we'll see you next time.